Minecraft has a mending problem. I can guess that for many of you, this isn't something you want to hear, but I think mending was way too easy to obtain prior to Mojang changing it in 1.20.2. That being said, I wouldn't say that the change they made is the best solution. Not only did it create another problem that I'll touch on later, but it actually doesn't address the overall issues with mending. Taking a step back to think about this mechanic as a whole, change or not, the way Mojang has designed villagers and mending forces players down a very narrow path of playstyle in order to be successful. For a sandbox game like Minecraft, this is counterintuitive. In this massive, almost infinite world, should there be only one optimal strategy? And that strategy just isn't fun for most people. Nobody wants to sit there and break lecterns over and over and over, hoping they will get a mending book from a librarian. It's not engaging, and if anything, it's tedious and annoying. Does anybody, and I'm not asking this rhetorically, I genuinely am asking, does anybody enjoy this mechanic? Then there's the exploit, I'm saying that with air quotes, you can't see it, but of curing zombie villagers to lower the prices over and over again. I wouldn't call this an exploit. I would rather say that it's an oversight by Mojang. They've had since like 2019 to fix this. There's no reason that a mending book should cost 1 emerald and 1 book. Not only is this insanely easy, it also destroys the pacing of gameplay. Like, woohoo! You just spent hours of mind-numbing game time grinding until you got a librarian with a mending book, and then you spent even more time capturing a zombie so you could cure the villager over and over and over. That must have been really fun. Clearly, I'm not a fan of the old system. I'm happy that Mojang has chosen to make it more difficult. Unfortunately, I think they've just traded one tedious task for another with this solution. At first, having librarians with specific enchantments depending on what biome you live in is pretty cool. Seeking a certain enchantment allows you to explore different biomes and find different villages that you need. I kind of like that actually. I like exploring, I like mapping, so traveling to different villages to get different enchantments is neat. However, getting those enchantments means grinding for emeralds, which can be extremely boring, and not to mention, traveling across several biomes just to find the right village is only really fun once or twice. While you're making your 30th trip to the Savannah village or 1,000 blocks away just to get your hands on Sharpness 3, your spirit of adventure might just start to die out. If you want mending specifically, it's even worse. As of 1.20.2, if you enable the experimental feature, mending villagers only spawn in swamps. But villages don't spawn in swamps. So what do? We have to find another village, kidnap 2 villagers, move them into a swamp, potentially hundreds or thousands of blocks away, which will only get worse if Mojang adds more biomes to the game, breed them, and then wait forever for their kid to grow up in the swamp, and then finally spend potentially even more hours grinding to get mending. It's too much. It's not fun. I think Mojang was going for the right thing here, but I think there's better ways to do it. And let me be clear, I don't think there's one clear-cut solution to this issue. This issue goes deeper than mending villagers themselves. It all comes back to one seemingly unrelated mechanic: tool repair. Being able to repair your tool is great. You take your diamond pick, smack another diamond on an anvil, and bam, it's fixed. Only costs you a couple XP levels too. The issue with this system is that each time you repair something, the XP cost goes up and doubles until you're hit with the too expensive message. This should not happen. This limit is what forces players to obtain mending. It's the reason we're conditioned to break lecterns over and over. We need it. It is necessary to play in survival. If you want the best gear, then you need mending. Otherwise, you will eventually lose it, and it will break, and you will have to go through the process of getting it again. Most players don't want to do that. Some of you may find that fun to break tools and enchant new ones over and over. I can see that. I kind of agree with you. But when I just want one pickaxe to get the job done forever, I should be able to repair it without any arbitrary limits. If I don't want to take on the monotonous task of grinding out for mending, then I shouldn't have to. Players should be given a choice. This is a sandbox game. The bottom line is that the too expensive blockade in repairing tools needs to be thrown out. I can see why Mojang doesn't want you taking 2 insanely strong tools and fusing them together. That makes sense. The XP cost would be insane. But for simply repairing my axe or my sword, that shouldn't be the case. It is my opinion that the cost of repairing a tool should be based on what type of tool it is. Wood, stone, iron, and so on. The better the tool, the more expensive it should be. For instance, a netherite tool would cost more than a diamond tool. And the number of enchantments on a tool and how strong each of those enchantments are should also affect the cost. For example, a diamond pickaxe with mending efficiency 5 and a breaking 3 should be far more expensive than a diamond pickaxe with no enchantments. I think a change like this would be great. I would suggest that a fully enchanted netherite tool should cost players around 30 levels of XP. This is expensive, but If you don't have mending at your fingertips, it's a good option. And as of now, without mending, your tools will break. This is how repairing should work. It should not get more expensive to repair the same tool over and over. However, I don't think that's the only change that Mojang can make. I still have issue with librarian villagers. Mending books are very cheap. They can be expensive as 30 emeralds all the way down to like 10. The price varies way too much. I think mending books should be anywhere between 30 to 40 emeralds minimum, and maximum like 60. They already do this for like sharpness 5. Like they can cost upwards of 60 emeralds. This should be the case. And I don't think that Mojang is going to go back on their recent biome change. I think they like this system because it gives you more of a reason to go explore different biomes. If they're going to radically shift how we obtain mending books, then it is only fair that we change how tools are repaired. The system has to be balanced. It is my opinion that the old system from 1.20.1 is objectively worse than it is now, but that does not mean the way it is now is good. As I've discussed, there are multiple sensible improvements that could be made. I truly hope that Mojang will listen to the community feedback about this one because it's desperately needed. It's worth mentioning that I've also seen a lot of people saying that Mojang should just get rid of mending entirely. While I don't think this is a majority of players, it's enough that I hear about it online. Personally, I think mending is a pretty good enchantment. I like that it directs your XP to your tool instead of giving it to the player. That's a good trade-off. However, I think it was poorly implemented. Mending is necessary to the game at this point, but if Minecraft remains a sandbox game, then it shouldn't be the only strategy to obtain tools that never break. Could Mojang come up with a solution to repairing tools at no XP cost at all? There's different ways to go about it, but these are just my thoughts. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys have your own ideas about how you would change mending, put them in the comment section below. I want to hear everything about your little silly ideas. If it's good, bad, stupid, crazy, I don't care. I want to hear about it. It sounds really interesting to me. I think that there are many, many ways to fix this, and I think that maybe combining some ideas together would maybe give a pretty good solution. I think my solution's pretty good, but I want to hear yours. I want to hear why you think mine is bad, why you think yours might be better. I want to hear all of it. I love sparking these kinds of discussions. It's very cool. I do want to say also, thank you for all the new subscribers and all of the new views. It's insane, and you should like and subscribe, by the way. It's insane. My subscriber count has multiplied 8 times over in like the past 5 days. I feel incredibly blessed. That's crazy to me. There are more people subscribed to my YouTube channel than live in my hometown as of this recording, like almost double. I grew up in a small town, to be fair, really tiny town, but that's still insane to me. That's crazy that there's that many people who think that my content is worth watching and listening to. I love that. I'm extremely grateful for that. This has been my dream since I was 11. I say that like every video, but it really is amazing. And because you guys came in clutch and just started hitting the subscribe button really hard, chill out a little bit, okay? You're kind of hurting it, but keep hitting it, but just gentler. Is that even a word? But because you guys have done that, I am now able to make money off of this. And that means that my 11-year-old dream of doing YouTube is becoming more and more real. And that feels crazy. That's just absolutely nuts to me. So if you guys want to actively take a part in that, and you are above the age of 18, I don't recommend anybody under the age of 18 do this. You can buy a membership to my channel. Of course, I don't want minors doing that. Don't give me your parents' money, okay? Don't do that. I want adults who have disposable income to give me their money. I would feel guilty if kids were taking my money. But as a member, it's $3 a month. You get to do a few things. I have a little list here, but this isn't all of them. There's more to it than this, but I'm going to give off the big ones. Number one is you get to vote on video topics, right? So if I'm having a week where I'm like, I have like several ideas I can go into, I want some help from the members, right? You guys get to vote on video topics. So it's like, I got Nintendo, I got, Minecraft, maybe something else I'm working on, and I'll let you guys vote on it. So members can have a direct impact on what gets put on the channel. In addition to this, you'll also get other members-only videos. Perhaps these will be non-scripted kind of things, maybe something that's not quite as heavy in editing. It's more laid back, more chill, as well as a bi-weekly podcast. I don't have anything particular yet. It's just kind of up on the drawing board. I'm going to work with Emily on how we should do that because I want to do it with her. I think it'd be really fun. But that'll be coming once every 2 weeks. And then maybe if it keeps going for long enough, maybe once every week. It just kind of depends. And then one day, if I ever decide to make merch, you guys will get discounts on that too, as well as a few other really great things. So if that's something that interests you and you really want to help me and support my dream, because the more money that this makes, the sooner I can quit my job and start doing this full time kind of thing. That'd be great. If you really want to support my dream, I recommend doing that. Or you could probably just keep watching videos. If you want to make a one-time donation, you can send supers as well. They're really great. If you don't want to make that commitment, but the commitment does get you cool perks. Anyway, you don't have to do any of that though. you don't have to do any of that. I'm just happy you're here. This support has been crazy to me. I've had some messages from friends and family that have been really uplifting, like congrats, keep going, you're doing great, and I love it. It's very awesome and it feels very good. So anyway, that is all for today's video. I will see you guys all in the next one. I have no idea what the next one's gonna be. I'm gonna have to think long and hard about this one. It may not be Minecraft. I don't know yet. It may not be. It probably will be, knowing how these past few videos have been, but I don't know for certain. I have plenty of things I want to talk about, like the new Mario game. I want to talk about Zelda again. There's so many things to talk about. Anyway, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye bye.